Welcome back to the Reed Homestead. Patrick again. Today we're going to do an unboxing of the AmotoSport 68cc 20-inch chainsaw. Some of the information I was able to glean online is AmotoSport is a motorcycle company. It's owned by Honda and linked to Yamaha. So it is a legit company. It's listed on the Fortune 500 on the stock exchange, AmotoSport. 68cc two-stroke air cooler. Most chainsaws nowadays are air cooled. 20-inch chain. The MPN, the manufacturer product number, is H014-A as in Alpha 015. It's got a 550 milliliter gas tank. Seems pretty big. About half the size is the oil tank, 260 milliliter oil tank. It does take 10W30 for chainsaw oil, which is kind of unique. Haven't seen that before. The chain type is K2 steel, imported steel. It's got an aluminum crankcase, which is what attracted me to it. You can see some of these older knockoff Chinese models are just plastic. And part of the problem I've been having with some of those is the cover to this will warp if it's just plastic. So that's what happened with the Blue Max. We've had that. That's a 57cc Blue Max. 22-inch chain, I think. The cover warped on it. When I bought the derail, which is 58cc derail, right here, derail Pro, this chainsaw cover will fit on the Blue Max. So if you've got a Blue Max, the derail cover will also fit on this. If not, if you're just trying to buy one of these for Blue Max online, they're like 110 bucks. You might as well just buy a new chainsaw. So aluminum crankcase says lasts 5 times longer than the average because of imported steel. The chain, it's 3 kilowatt engine power, reduces fuel by 20%. We'll see about that. The chassis is high quality composite. Most chainsaws are. It's basically a plastic composite and split sprocket, 3-tier gas filter for all day use. You can get the 52cc for $104, pretty cheap. Or you can get a 24-inch chain and bar for between $170 and $200. That's on the 68cc. I got the 68cc 20-inch. I think we spent $150. It came with we paid a little extra for a 3-year warranty. So let's get in and open this up. Here, let's get you a little closer so you can see. Okay. All right. Right there. And so there's the Husqvarna that's got the blown piston. I do have a McCulloch ProMac 610. So it's got a 61cc piston in it. If I need to, I can pull it and put that in Husky. We'll see if Husky is gonna fix their blown piston. I've only had it for 2 years, so we paid extra for a 3-year warranty. We still have to contact them. There's the derail, that's still running. The Blue Max is still running. When I took it apart to work on it, the cutoff valve right here, the shut off power button, power toggle, got disconnected. So if I wanted to use the Blue Max, I'd have to disconnect the spark plug wire basically to turn it off. So until I fix it. But I do have the tools needed to fix the piston on my own. I have been following Tin Man for the small mechanics out there, Tin Man and Iron Horse. So I've got the Dremel 395 with all the attachments. If I wanted to do some porting on the chainsaw, I could do some porting with this. And of course, you got to have your T-bars to take the chainsaw apart. So I got all that. So not really SOL. I just want Husqvarna to stand by their warranty. You know, we'll see if they do. Let's open this up. It came, if I recall right, I think it came with an extra chain, you know, has a fuel container, I think. My little Moro knife here. Yes, it's just the end of pollen season, so you get this yellow dust all over the place, gets in your lungs, in your nose, pretty bad. So, okay, it does come with a scabbard. The bar and chain is in here. Okay. There it is. CMA, that's basically FarmTech, which has got good reviews. There's the chain. CMA 20-inch. So that's good. Pretty beefy. Oh, okay. It's got 2 bars. No, 1 bar. That's pretty beefy. It's pretty heavy. Here, you can tell. Hear that thud? So you get a bar cover, which is cool. Let's see. Okay. So here's the crank cover. Kind of looks like the. It kind of looks like the Husky. So this is composite. Okay. It's on there pretty good. Sometimes what I'll do is go in here and throw down a bead of Miracle Glue, Crazy Glue down here, because these tend to come off. So, and then, you know, I'll also use silicone spray in here, so dust and wood chips have a harder time sticking to it. Do that when you do your maintenance. Okay. Fuel filter, funnel, that's good. Always looking for one of those. Fuel can. Okay. Good. Let's just stack these extras down here. Get some. This is an old board that I cut up to make a cutting board out of. So you got the scabbard, or the cover. You got the bar, fuel tank, funnel. Here's the chain. CMA, also FarmTech, brand new chain. Let's see, that's 325 by 58 by 76 chain links. That's pretty typical. Give you a couple of nice fall gloves, I guess. That's cool. They give you a tool bag. Let's see what's in the tool bag. Okay, you got your multi-tool scrunch. Pretty cool. A T-tool. This is for taking the chainsaw apart if you need to. Just reach down there. Takes. Yep. So that's unscrewing right there. That's good. Scrunch. multi-tool, extra filter. Looks like a fuel filter. Here's some dogs, small dogs, right there. They give you a file that's supposed to be suited to your chain. And then you have a couple extra nuts to put the dogs on. You get a little tuning. That's for when you want to tune your chainsaw. They give you a tuning tool, screwdriver. So that's cool. The Woosing Group. Basically, it's a FarmTech. Looks like CM 6800, so 68cc chainsaw. There's your owner's manual, basically. It'll go through all the specifics, parts location, contact information, safety stuff, how to fell a tree, safety goggles. Okay. It's always good to have safety equipment. There's a cap for the fuel tank, fuel mixture, and here it is. All right. There she is. Okay. Let's get this off. Okay. Let's set this over here. And there she is. Kind of looks like the Husky 550 or 450, 455. So here, got some big holes here for the exhaust. It's good. It's composite. There she is. All right, so it takes 25 to 1, which I have some pre-mixed somewhere here, right here. Okay. So, always water bottle. All right. Product date, inspector, Woosing Group. CMA is basically FarmTech. Okay. Let's see here. First thing we'll do, so 25 to 1. The 2-cycle oil that I use is 1 ounce makes 50 to 1 gallon. So this is a gallon jug. 1 ounce will make 50 to 1 mixture in a gallon. So what I did is put 1 ounce in a half gallon. Okay. Simple math. I'm going to fill it about halfway just to make sure the mixture is right. Maybe a little more. Okay. Yeah. So when you have, let's see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got a Black Max in the garage. 6 chainsaws. It's kind of hard to blame the kids for, you know, going out and invading the woods, which they're obviously not doing. That would be an asshole thing to do, right? So you just got to replace them. It's basic maintenance. You know, you can tune these. We'll go through a tuning video. and sharpen your own chains and do stuff to make these chainsaws run a little better. But pretty sure that this is part of the air filter. We'll get into that in a little bit. Let's get some bar oil for this real quick. Make sure you guys can see what I'm doing down here. Okay, one sec, I'll be right back. All right, so let's get in here. Yeah, so I just put some gas in it, pre-mixed, right there. So, like I said, 1 ounce makes 50 to 1, a full gallon of 50 to 1. If you use 1 ounce for a half gallon, that's 25 to 1, which is the mixture that this takes. So does it a reel. The reel takes 25 to 1. Access to the oil is fine. It's basically like every other chainsaw. They leave you a little room outside the bar of the handle. Try not to make too much of a mess. Wife doesn't like that at all. Most wives probably don't, unless you married a arborist. Someone friendly to felling trees and working on chainsaws. Okay, so let's see. Normally you'd want to go through the owner's manual and figure out what the hell this is for. I'm pretty sure this goes to probably goes to the air filter. So let's see here. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. No, that should just pop right off. Yeah. Okay. All right. Looks like a pretty nice air filter, actually. Kind of like the Husky. You know, a lot of people would say these are knockoffs. Some of my commenters know, you know, Shendoa, Japanese manufacturer back from the 80s. They probably got the design from Husqvarna, one of the early Husqvarna brands. So, yeah. There's the air filter. Looks all right. It's going to be kept snug in there. And then, yeah, it's nice and tight. And that actually might be for the fuel can. I'll figure it out later. It really doesn't matter. Here's the spark plug wire. Excuse the sniffles and the coughs. Like I said, it's pollen season, probably for the next month or so. And just in time for Japanese beetles to show up. Okay. That's on there. Goes together pretty easily, actually. Snaps on. So when you're doing your tune-up, you need to change out that air filter. You can access it. I've seen people clean air filters out with just gas, just leaving in a jar of gas overnight. This doesn't have a valve where you could, so a lot of these will just work the choke like that. So it's also a switch instead of a toggle, which I guess is good. When you want to power off, you switch it. Okay. Yeah, we're just pumping fuel from the tank through fuel line into the carburetor, which will feed fuel to the spark plug, create gas for that piston to move. Let's give it a try. Take the choke out. Let that warm up a little. Let that piston break in. Sounds pretty good. Stronger than the Husky, I can tell right away. The Husky is a 460. So 460 Rancher. Blown piston. We'll see, it's still under warranty. This is 68cc, that's 60. The Husky's a 60cc. The DeReal, the green one, is 58cc. The Blue Max is 57cc, and then the McCulloch PM 610 Pro Master or Pro Mac McCulloch is 61cc. So if I really need to, I could pull the piston out of the McCulloch 61cc and swap it out in the Husky. So thanks to people like the Tin Man and Iron Horse, that should be doable. Alright, let's throw the bar and chain on real quick and see what it's like. One sec. Alright, yeah, let's throw the bar and chain on. Should have everything we need right here. The exhaust is pretty wide, so that's good. Give you a little extra oomph. Let's see here. Seems like a pretty beefy bar to me, but I'm just a homesteader. I'm not a chainsaw specialist. I know how to work on them and tune them up and stuff. So it seems like it's pretty beefy. German technology, 20-inch, 58.058 on the rakers, with spacing 76 sprockets at 325, low kickback. So I'm just going to set this up real quick. I got to put the dogs on here first. All right. Okay, let's get the T-bar. Undo these screws here. That's where the dogs are going to go. Now on the Husky, I had some custom built dogs right here. Pretty beefy, grip into the wood pretty good. But these are pretty small. I might see if one of those Huskies will fit on this. That's kind of a pain. Well, let's worry about that later. Let's just get the bar set up. Alright. Let's at least get the bar and chain on. Yeah? Alright. Okay, where's my chain? Ah. Okay. Nice little packaging. I thought it came with 2 chains, but it didn't. It came with some other tools and stuff. So that's pretty cool. All right. Really take pride in their chain. All right. Put that back in the box. Sometimes these can be a pain. Come on, Bubba. There we go. Okay. You want your teeth facing outward. Let's get this around the sprocket first. There we go. There she is. Pull that out a little bit. Clink. Yep. Okay. Now, the tensioner screw is on the front. That's a little unfortunate. Kind of makes it a pain. It'd be nice if you could do it right here. Some of them, they have the option to do it there, but it's set up for the front. So that's okay, man. Okay. All right. Didn't really have to adjust the tensioner. Already set up, so that's good. that scratch. Okay. Yeah. So just gonna tighten that up. Turning it to the right. I mean, after you start, you're going to have to adjust it again. A good way to do this is to just leave it on the ground like that, but I don't really have a good angle here. So, yeah, you really want these tension adjusters on the faceplate of the cover, because you really don't have a whole lot of room to operate over here. All right, that's on. Now there should be a way to control how much oil is coming out onto the bar chain, so it shouldn't leak too bad. You just refer to the owner's manual. Don't want that way too tight. Well, hang on. Might have to loosen that just a little bit. Just a few turns, and then you can go back to tensioning. Get a proper tension on that. You want it a little loose so the chain can actually turn. A little looser. Okay. All right. Good enough. There's Bo. How you doing, buddy? Hiding in the bushes, staying in the shade. Yeah, 90 degrees today. Let's give it a shot. Just go right back here, start it up. Pull the choke out. Turn it on. One sec. Okay, so the crankcase was a little cockeyed, so took the bar off, straightened it all back out. What I'm going to do is tune this a little bit So it's your throttle screw right here, T-screw it's called, up top. You're going to turn that up. Just about a half a turn. I'm going to come down to the low jet, high jet. Low is on the left. I'm going to turn that up a little. About a half a turn. And also the high jet. Same thing. About a half a turn. See how that does. All right. Okay. All right. Let's see. Chain is on there snug. Alright, I'm going to tinker with this some more. That's basically it, the AmotoSport. It did start, so we're pretty happy to have it. 68cc. I still have a lot of oak trees to take down here. So we're going to finish up the garden beds. I'm going to cut those sides and then trim the vine wall back there so we can get our fence in. But that's the AmotoSport. Okay, I'll bring it back up. It's basically a Husky, it seems like, but maybe better quality. I don't know. Here it is. So, kind of looks like the FarmTech 6800. So, AmotoSport 68cc, 20-inch chainsaw, bar, chain, tools, safety stuff, scabbard, all the screws that you need. Comes with a fuel tank, a funnel, work gloves, safety goggles. So that's it. That's all from the Reed Homestead today. So we do have another chainsaw, 6. It's not the kids' fault. They're not out invading anything. So yeah, I did that. All right. In the next video, we'll do a review once I get this running and tuned and all that stuff. I'm not going to make you sit through all that. So next video, we'll do a review on it and see how it's performing. Until the next time, guys, this has been Pat at the Reed Homestead. Have a great day and God bless.